You know things are bad when CNN Business actually puts out a pretty accurate headline here. The battle for the future of Disney just got serious. Oh, yes, it did. Because guess who's back in town? Nelson Peltz is back, and he's trying, once again, to get on the board. This time, not just himself, another guy. So Disney nominated 2 new directors for the board. Peltz is like, nah, I don't think so. I'm going to nominate myself and this other guy that used to be the CFO. We're going to bring him, put him on the board. And I really don't know how Disney stops them. They're going to take this directly to shareholders. Disney's trying to desperately get their stock back up because they don't want these 2 people nominated. So, you know, I find it funny. They always make sure to put activist here. There's 2 different things. He's not an activist. He's an investor activist. They're different. But I like the way that they use these kinds of terms when it comes to this dude trying to rise up and fix Disney's death spiral. He wants them to actually make money again, which goes against what Disney's trying to do with the company, which is, of course, make it into a propaganda machine. They don't really care too much about money because they've got enough. So here's the story. Walt Disney is bracing for a bitter proxy battle as activist investor Nelson Peltz nominated himself and an ally to Disney's board, his second attempt this year to gain sway over the company's strategy. Peltz owns his Tryon Fund Management owns roughly $3 billion worth of Disney shares, and they have nominated Peltz and former Disney Chief Financial Officer James Rasulo. As Disney's largest active shareholder, we can no longer sit by and watch them just pick replacements. They want those, and they are going to lay out the case for its 2 independent director candidates because, well, change is necessary. So this is a big problem for Disney. Big problem. Because they're going to push hard to get on the board. And if they take it to shareholders, I don't know how Disney gets around this. Now, Disney has nominated their own people for the spot. And that's James Gorman and Morgan Stanley. Oh, no. Disney had announced the appointment of James Gorman, chair and chief executive of Morgan Stanley, and Jeremy DeRoque, a veteran media executive and former group chief executive of Sky. So the thing here is these are hand-picked people. These are people that are going to go along with what Bob says, what Bob wants, Bob's vision. Iger doesn't get a lot of pushback from the board. They all kind of agree with him. They're all going in one direction. The problem is it's a direction down a toilet. Now, Peltz wants to get in. He wants to actually get them making money again, which would be nice. If they could go back to actually making entertainment that is family-friendly and entertaining, that would be wonderful, instead of all this shit that wants to push a message and then getting involved in political war, which is something they should have never have done in the first place. This lawsuit that they're in Florida is all their fault because they wanted to become a political activist company. What I really love about all of this is their statement. And the first thing they want you to know on why their board is qualified. This is why their board is qualified. This is why their board is actually great and making wonderful decisions. It's because it's diverse. That's right. That's what makes this board bulletproof. It's the best board in the world. It's diverse and highly qualified board is focused on the long-term performance of the company, strategic growth initiatives, including the company's ongoing transformation of its business into what? An activist business? increasing shareholder value, and finding a successor to Iger. Yeah, I wonder who that'll be. So, anybody with a huge stake in this company, like this guy, knows that they are not doing any of this. They have been on a long-term trajectory for a while, and this is all the result of it. All the shit that's going on right now. And he wants to go back to the way it was, where they actually had families watching them and going to the parks instead of Disney adults. And they were actually making money and healthy because, of course, you know, all the people that were introducing their children to Disney properties were, of course, likely Disney fans when they were young. And then those kids would pass it on to their kids and so on and so on. Well, that's not going to really happen anymore. They've lost the family, which is bad. They could still fix this, by the way. They're not that far gone where they couldn't turn it around in a couple of years and start putting out good content again. And then maybe things would bounce back. But I don't see that happening. I think the reason that Disney has been going out and saying that they don't want to be in these political situations anymore and they're going to walk back all of this woke content is because of Peltz. And they have to scramble to try to look like they're not going to do all this shit, because if this guy and his buddy get on the board, they are going to have a lot of problems because they will probably fight tooth and nail on everything Bob wants to do. And, oh, you know, we can do this and that. Now the board will just ratify everything. Not with these two on there. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here. And I think there's a high likely chance these two get on the board. It'll be really interesting. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.